Hello, this is not a spring chicken. If you're seeing this, well, it's probably because it's too hot. No, wait, it's too cold, too wet, or maybe because I'm at a bridal shower today. But there's a lot of news happening. And talking about peanut butter, watch out for those jars because there is an incident, and it's not just in the peanuts. So for now, we'll bring Oldecam on for comments on the headlines of today. President Obama, we owe it to the American people to pass the bill.
It's sort of appropriate that Monty has one of her little friends, Mr. Parrot, in, because Mr. Parrot just simply says what other people have said around him, and when you deal with the Democrats and they continually say that stimulus, he tends to say it. Stimulus.
Currently, less than 1/3 of the bill will go to tax relief.
I know they don't. Okay, as Harry Reid said yesterday, the tax relief does not work. We were elected to raise taxes on everybody to bring the economy back into.
Well,
no, he feels that too many people didn't pay appropriate taxes. Mr. Parrot says we know who.
Yeah, just get another nominee and we'll find them. Octuplet mom got more than $165,000 in disability.
Yeah, so, she's going to get a lot more. Each one of the kids is going to be worth $250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, I've seen people...
She became a multimillionaire overnight.
I've seen people before, they have kids because they can make more money. They don't live in the greatest place,
it's called
but...
the welfare system. No, but the only thing that angers me, and actually it angers a lot of people, is right-wing hypocrites that say that the sanctity of life is very important, but how dare you have more than 2 children?
Well, that's just as bad. And then I've heard people say, well, you should take her children away, and all sorts.
They want her jailed, but you got to remember, these are people that have 13, 14 children of their own, saying that how dare someone else have more than 2 children?
I know. Well,
they want laws passed saying that you can't do that in this country.
Well, I think a lot of it is just because those last 8, I mean, that was in vitro, and she didn't have a significant other.
But the whole problem is that every woman that is in vitro fertilized has a whole gaggle of eggs used because there's no guarantee that any of them will fertilize.
Oh, that's true. And while you're doing it, you do...
And you want to, the people on the right, should they have an abortion then if,
that's
true. What they're in a sense saying.
Deep rift develops between President Obama and the House GOP.
Well, yeah, but right now he's got House GOP members talking to them because he wants them to change. They're not going to change because they're voting with their constituency.
Well, they do want to get elected again.
Well, yeah, but his thing that we intend to send an army of people into their communities to tell the people what their representative has done to them. Well, they're voting the will of the people.
Representative Pence, disappointed by President's partisan rhetoric.
I know. This is a guy that he called into the White House to explain how he was personally responsible if things don't work right.
Talk about developing nonpartisan ties.
Yeah. He's never been He's never done a nonpartisan thing in his life.
Blue, the hue of creativity. Red for detail.
I always thought that red made you look hotter.
Well, yeah. Usually blue is a calming effect and relaxing. I've never heard of it being used for creativity.
I love blue.
Well, and I love blue too.
So.
Unions say taking pay cuts is wrong to save jobs.
I know. I heard that one this morning. Well, I heard one of the leaders say that the problem is we don't have enough union members, and the more union members we have, the stronger an economy we're going to have.
Okay. Understand that. Connect the dots.
Yeah.
Researchers report wolves in dogs' clothing.
Dogs came from wolves. That's all they're trying to talk about.
Oh.
So there's a latent wolf in every dog. I mean, pure simple. I mean, okay.
Well, especially if some of the like a Siberian Husky or something,
or a Malamute or things like that. I mean, they'll turn quicker than other dogs and go back to their own nature.
Toyota sees first annual net loss since 1950.
Well, because it hasn't got anything to do with people selling bad cars, or the fact, because it's got to do with the fact you can't get a loan to buy a car. Nobody seems to listen to that.
So in the stimulus where you get a tax break if you buy a car,
You still have to buy the car. And like the latest bunch of garbage is to buy all the stock of the automobile companies and sell the cars at a reduced market to get the inventory going. You still can't get the financing to buy the car. Plus, they're going to flood the market with brand new cars at lower prices. So why go out and buy another car? They're going to depress the market even more under their great stimulus plan.
That's true. Raytheon executive approved for Pentagon post.
Oh, poor little. I mean, he would be a better one because he doesn't have any ties with any people except for B.O. Him and B.O. were close friends, but I know.
I just realized I'm looking at him. He's got green all over him.
I know he's not going to show up. See, look, you won't see most of him. See.
Google Latitude, a new feature for Google Maps on mobile devices that lets users track and find their friends.
I know, they said that's right off the bat, that is a problem because you can also use it to track anybody if you're not a friend.
I know. Who wants people to know exactly where they are the whole time?
You see his little head.
What do they think we do? All work for the government? Oh, or is this the bird notice?
But see, this is sort of like the Democratic Party, no substance.
Sales fall. You sound so anti-democratic.
No, okay. Put it this way. My mother's a Democrat, my father's a Republican. My grandmother's a Democrat, my grandfather's a Republican. We're directly split down the middle. And they would go into polling booths and they would negate each other's votes for like 100 years. Okay, put it this way. One of my grandfathers is Rutherford B. Hayes, the President of the United States on the Republican Party side. I will not. Okay, I'm only going after the Democrats because the Republicans haven't done anything stupid enough to be talked about yet. But they're going to give them their chance and they're going to do it.
Sales fall sharply for retailers and stocks rise on the bad news.
I know. I would love that inversion. Maybe that's what we need to do. That time of the month when our links go down because they're sweeping and cleaning out old links. We should use an inversion program. Instead of going down by millions, we actually go up by millions.
Oh, yeah, you never know.
How do you like to have that poor stock that's got that artificial raise
well, part of
that
it,
didn't actually raise?
I know, because you don't really know what the value is.
That's right.
U.S. auto suppliers industry aid request may reach $25 billion.
Yeah, but they're going to have, an auto czar is going to be appointed. And he's going to do the bidding of the Democrats in the Congress, not what's good for the industry, the people, but what is good for the. I heard him say what is good for the environment will be good for the auto industry.
Well, now like the unions got the auto companies into all of this. Now their executives all have that $500,000 cap, which they all have to contest.
Yeah, so you can bet the unions are going to fight against any cap. You can't know that cap is for these people, not us. Mm-hmm. But they're getting bailout money.
Yep.
So.
Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger's historic furlough of more than,
200,000 people.
State employees set to begin today.
And I love it. They're threatening to sue over. Basically, I heard Schwarzenegger said, "I can simply handle that real quickly. I can fire them all." And then they'll have no job.
They need money.
They don't have.
The state doesn't have the money.
I heard him listening. We haven't got any money to pay them. They won't take an IOU because IOUs can't be spent at a bank, so therefore there's no reason to come in if you're not going to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower courts to grant gay rights no matter how many states' constitutions ban marriage.
Because they said it's unconstitutional for a constitution to ban anything.
Will your children be better off than you?
Okay, my grandfather worked his rear end off. Actually my grandfather was European royalty and in the general military, worked as a milkman to help make certain my father had a better life. My father was in the military and he worked as a police officer building homes to make certain that I had a better life. And my grandchildren will have worse life than I had because you're not going to have as much to be able to get anymore. So.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Actually it does says it all. That what's the point of doing something if you know no matter what you do, things are going to get worse?